Continuation, Chapter 4. The dash between perishing and sacrificing for your dream. Proverbs 29 verse 18 reads, "Where there is no vision, the people perish." Perishing is the dangerous state of living in a mundane existence without even realizing it. There you are, living your comfortable life, going to the same job, day in and day out, doing the same things. You know your routine so well that you can probably do it without thinking. There are no dreams or aspirations in front of you. And if you were fired tomorrow, you wouldn't know how to pursue a better life. It wouldn't be a sad state of affairs to wake up one morning and realize that you have spent years wandering aimlessly in circles, unclear about your purpose, wasting your gift and destroying your promise. What kind of life is that? You can't afford to go another day without a clear direction and focus for your life. I'm not coming at this from a high and mighty place. I'm sharing this with you because I've been in that state of perishing. And I had no idea of how to get out until I created a new vision for my life and committed myself to living that new promise. When I think back to my earlier days, it's painful to remember how much of my life was disconnected from a real vision. I would take any job just to pay the rent and put gas in my car. I would date anyone who helped me pass the time. When I wasn't working, I was hanging out with people who didn't push me any closer to where I needed to be. I was dying slowly, and I had not created a new vision for my life. I'd probably still be in Cleveland, working job to job and making people laugh on the weekends. Perishing is not always about some overdramatic emotional outpour or losing all your possessions at once. Most often, perishing is a slow, painful process. And if you aren't paying attention, it will trick you into thinking that this is the way things are supposed to be. By failing to have a vision, you are stripping yourself of every possible blessing, relationship, and opportunity. When you sit by and just let your life perish without a vision, it is the most painful kind of death. Are you in a state of perish? How do you know if you're perishing or not? Let's get honest about it. You can't expect to create a new life and a new vision for yourself if laziness is part of your routine. Procrastination will not get the job done. Doing things halfway, improperly, or not at all won't get the job done. Lack of enthusiasm will not get the job done. Unreliability will not get the work done. Being untrustworthy will not get the job done. Any negative trait that derails you from your dreams will not get the job done. Negativity can never be the fuel that drives your gift. You can also tell if you are perishing if you are the smartest person in your group. If you're the smartest person in the group, you need to get a new group. You cannot be the person who knows it all and can't be told anything, because what are you going to do with your dash? Another way to put your state of perishing into perspective is to realize that one day your life will come to an end. Whether you want to believe it or not, there will be a casket and a hole in the ground with your name on it. The next homegoing service at your church could be yours. And the most important thing on that day won't be the amount of flowers that surround your casket or how well the choir sings your favorite hymn. The only thing that will matter is how well you use that dash between the day you're born and the day you die. I don't want you to spend your days preoccupied with the thoughts of death, but I do want you to live your life thinking about how your dash will make a difference in this world. If you still got breath in your lungs and blood running through your veins, you've got another day to make your dash count. If you're still blessed to wake up and see another day, God has a promise, a plan, and a destiny for your dash. The best way to start moving from perishing into your promise is to make what I call dash deposits. These are simply efforts you make on a daily basis to reach your destiny and add to your legacy. Reading a book that helps you master your gift is a dash deposit. The work you put into completing a project that was due today is a dash deposit. Talking with your family members during dinner instead of watching TV is a dash deposit. Any small or large activity or action that adds to the quality of your life and your family's is a dash deposit. How you use your dash is completely up to you. Let today be the day that you make your dash meaningful as it moves you closer to your destiny. Success actions. List 3 dash deposits you plan to do in the next 24 hours. Tweet or Instagram me your hashtag dash deposits to act like a success. Page 56. Now that you have some dash deposits in your success account, here are a few more yes and no questions for you to seriously consider as you move from perishing to reaching your destiny. Number 1. Regardless of your track record, are you willing to acknowledge, perfect, and use your gift to be successful? Number 2. Are you open to changing and evolving your thinking around success? Number 3. Are you willing to change your actions around success? Number 4. Are you willing to believe that you deserve all the riches that life has to offer? If you answered no to any of the above questions, gift this book to a person who is willing to acknowledge his or her gift. Give it to a friend who you know has been seeking success but has received no satisfaction through his dead-end job. In fact, leave it on the doorstep of a family member who wants to have a healthy marriage or better relationship with his or her children. Now, if you answered yes to all the questions, keep on reading because we have more work to do. Moving into the land of promise. There is no way you can move from a state of perishing into the land of promise if you don't step up and let the world see your gift. What good is it to be a great chef if you're afraid to let someone sample your dishes? What sense does it make to be a great speaker if you won't let the world hear your voice? It's entirely possible that you could cash in your life savings to pursue your dream and a year later be flat broke. It's not desirable, but your leap of faith could land you back in your parents' basement. But which is worse, leaping and falling and getting back up, or living your life regretting that you never leaped at all? You can't let your fear of the unknown keep you from your destiny. If God had told me that my path towards being a successful comedian would include living out of my car, divorce, and facing a $20 million tax bill, trust me, I would have stayed right on the assembly line at the Ford Motor Company. But taking that leap into a foreign territory prepared me to jump higher and farther than I could have ever imagined. Living on a wing and a prayer. There is going to come a day when your pursuit of living your dream is going to cost more than the money in your checking account and the credit available on your credit card. What's going to stop you from running back to your old boss and asking for your job back? As you pursue your dream, you have to be prepared for the times of lean as well as the times of plenty. Nobody said that living in the land of promise would be easy. When someone gives you a harsh critique or comes to tear down your character, You have to be confident enough to know that what God has for you cannot be taken away because of one person's opinion. Even if your financial responsibilities require you to take on a part-time job to get you over the hump, you have to stay committed to your dream until you get the break you deserve. When you know that you know. Nobody but you and God can see it. But you know your gift is in there. It doesn't make sense to most people right now why you are spending so much time on something that looks like a useless hobby. But you know in your heart that it's the key to your future. At the end of the day, your personal resolve to nurture and grow your gift will be the deciding factor between your success and your failure. I don't care how close you are with your mother or how much your best friend supports your dream. If you don't know and believe in your gift for yourself, you will never have the life that God has destined for you. When you are really living in your gift, you just know it. When you are doing what you are meant to be doing, you can just feel it. When the right opportunity comes along, you won't have to force it. I want you to be able to live in a space where your dream is no longer a question of who you are, but an answer for everything you are meant to be. Getting motivated and staying focused. Moving from perishing into the land of promise won't work if you aren't motivated to stay there. We think that motivation comes from somewhere else, but our greatest motivation is inside us. The only difference between successful and unsuccessful people is that the successful people know what their gift is and how to focus on it at all costs. Once I discovered my gift, pursuing it became my sole focus. After I finished focusing on the insignificant stuff and started focusing on my promise, I began to move in the right direction. We have to commit to taking the lead of our dream every day. Most of the world just wants you to get a job and make someone else rich. Too many schools and training programs will steer you toward serving a company while forgetting about you and your dreams. Blow that lid off of your life every day and say to the world, I might be in this place right now, paying my dues and mastering my craft, but my dreams are out of this world. Again, say to the world, I might be in this place right now, paying my dues and mastering my craft, but my dreams are out of this world. Success actions. What is in and out of the jar? What is an out of the jar? No holds barred dream that you have for your life today. Success actions. What is an out of the jar? No holds barred dream that you can have for your life today. Don't limit your dreams to just your career. Think about your family, your relationships, and your contribution to your community, or your house of faith. You've got your ideas. Now write them down here. Make your descriptions come to life with rich detail. Yeah. Chapter 5. Not what you are paid for, but what you were made for. I remember vividly the day I decided to change my life. It was Tuesday, October 8th, 1985 in Cuyahoga Falls, Ohio. I was 27, married, and a new father of beautiful twin baby girls. Well, I was excited to be a father for the first time. We were really struggling. We were living in a little 2-bedroom house, and I was barely scraping by with my full-time job and writing jokes on the side for comedian AJ Jamal. One night, I was hanging out in the comedy club with a woman named Gladys Jacobs. She knew about my gig with AJ. why don't you just write some jokes for yourself and sign up for the open mic night for next week?" she asked. I agreed to sign up for the next show. I hung around to see Gladys perform her set. There were 9 comedians on stage that night with Gladys. Some of the performers were good, some were bad, and surprisingly, the guy who did Bullwinkle and Popeye impressions slayed the crowd the most. The host got to the end of the open mic list, and the last comic was a no-show. "Well, why don't you just start with the names of the next week? If Steve Harvey is here, come on up," he said. I was sitting there minding my business, eating and drinking a glass of grapefruit juice. I put down my drink and said, "Gladys, somebody here has the same name." She looked at me and said, "Fool, he means you. Get up there." I ran up on stage and started my set by facing the wall. Then I turned around and said, "I ain't even supposed to be here until next week." To my shock, they started laughing. "No, really, I'm not kidding. This is an accident." The crowd kept on laughing, but Gladys could see that I was freezing up. "Tell us the story about your boxing day," she yelled. "Tell us the story about your boxing days," she yelled. I started telling a story about boxing one of my fiercest opponent, who was named Bernard Tyler. I really got into it and began demonstrating how he used to climb into the ring with a pigeon-toed walk. The crowd was howling. Meanwhile, the host was on the other side of the stage, motioning for me to wrap it up. But I thought he was telling me to keep going, so I told another story. Finally, I said, "Well, I can't think of anything else to say, so I will see y'all next week." After I finished, the host brought all the contestants back on stage. There was a clap-off for the best comedian. I won my first amateur night. The first place prize was $50. I walked into work the next morning with that $50, and you couldn't tell me nothing. I marched myself into the card shop downstairs and paid them $25 to print up 200 cards with my name, address, phone number, and the word comedian right under my name. I waited until all 200 cards were off press. When they were done, I took my fresh box of printed cards and went upstairs to show them to my buddy Roselle. When I saw him, he said, "Where were you last night? I was looking for you and couldn't find you anywhere." I told him that I won an amateur night at the comedy club. A comedy club? That's exactly where you need to be. I showed him the cards. "I'm thinking of quitting this job." "Well, don't think about it. Do it." I got a box cleared off my desk and headed to my boss's office to deliver the news. "Tom, look, I really appreciate the opportunity, but I have a young family, and last night I discovered what I really want to be." "Well, what's that, Steve?" my boss asked. I told him about winning the amateur night at the comedy club, and I informed him that I was a comedian now. Tom looked at me right in the eye and said, "You won one amateur night, and now you think you're a comedian, huh? Steve, I've never heard of you say a funny thing since you've been here." I wanted to show him that I was really serious. I handed him one of my new business cards, which was still warm from the printer. "Listen, Steve, you're a young man with a young family to support. Don't go chasing some foolish dream. Now take that box, put your stuff right back at your desk, and go sit down. I'll pretend like this never happened." I let Tom talk me right out of quitting. I turned around and left his office. I went back to my desk. "What are you doing?" I asked my friend. I told him that Tom made some good points about being responsible and taking care of my family. My friend shot back, "You're really going to let this dude tell you what you can do with your life? Steve, Let me ask you something. Is Tom the kind of man you want to be? No. Is his car the kind of car you want? No. So why in the world are you listening to him? Steve, you are the funniest man I know. I really think you have missed your calling being here. Keep your stuff in that box and go. I grabbed my box for the second time and headed back to Tom's office. I explained to him again that I was really serious about becoming a comedian. He looked at me like I was the biggest fool in the world. All right, Steve. If you walk out of that door now, I'm not going to give you your job back. I thanked him again and I went to shake his hand, but he refused. You're making a bad move, Steve, but good luck for you. I walked out of that door, jumped, and never looked back. Now, please, don't walk into work tomorrow and quit your job. Let me tell you that during my first few months as a comedian, I thought Tom was right. I made $125. My first month and the second month were even worse because I was only $75 worth funny. I ended up losing my family and home. I thought it would be better out on the road, but it just got worse. And I barely had enough money to send Sam back home. Even in the midst of being homeless, I knew I was doing what I was born to do. I wasn't successful at it yet, but I was on my way. I've known that I had a gift to make people laugh since I was 10, but I didn't attach it to a vehicle called being a comedian until I was in the late 20s. I want to inform you of one very important piece of information. You have a gift. Yes, you have a gift too. And apparently, myself speaking, I am a speaker. I have a gift of speaking. Okay, you have a gift. Yes, you have a gift too. Our Creator, in His infinite wisdom, created every single soul with a gift. Your gift is completely unique. No one can rob you of it. You are the only one who can choose to use it or to ignore it. You have the power to permit it to be used to enrich your life. Steve, what is my gift? Your gift is the single thing that you do at your absolute best with the least amount of effort. Take a moment to really think about what I'm saying. Be honest with yourself while considering my words. You have a gift. Know that I did not ask you what you are passionate about or what you hoped, dreamed, or wished for. What do you do the absolutely best with the least amount of effort? Don't think that a gift is limited to playing sports or performing on stage. There are many other options. Okay. Are you a problem solver? Are you a sharp listener who can convey the views of others? Do you have the ability to bring together people who can then form mutually beneficial business and enhancing relationships? Do you cook well? Are you an excellent mediator? Do you have a calming voice that can lift a person's spirit? Are you especially effective communicating with children? Can you draw or paint? Do you like designing garments? Does creating floral arrangements give you a thrill? What is it that your Creator has naturally endowed you to do? This whole notion of gift can be challenging. We have been conditioned to take care more about jobs and titles. Our gift is not the job we have that we think is better than everyone else. I have plenty of friends who are making millions of dollars and hate what they do because they are using their talents but not their gifts. As you are figuring out what your gift is, do not be misled by alternate career options. Some of you may be having trouble identifying your gift because you are attaching it to or defining it as a job. I completely understand that. And I know this is especially true for men because of so much of our identity is tied to the company we work for and the title on our business cards. But your job is not your gift. It may be one of the places where you can use your gift, but you should also be able to use your gift in your relationships, your communities, and throughout every aspect of your life. Your gift is something that is connected to you, whether you are working or vacationing, whether you are with the family or even all alone. Your gift cannot be taken because of downsizing or given to you because someone creates a job description. Your gift exists because you do. I have come to learn that no single job would ever contain my gift. My gift and your gift are bigger than a single job. I was so preoccupied with getting gigs that didn't realize that my gift to make people laugh was not about a comedy stage. I have been able to move beyond the job I thought was my gift and truly see my unique gift make room for me on radio, TV, movies, and yes, even in books. Notice that when I'm on radio, I'm making people laugh. When I'm doing my television show, I'm making people laugh. When I'm hosting Family Feud, I'm making people laugh. My gift is always with me and I use it to increase my success. If you are a driver, I don't want you to get hung up on I drive well, so I'll drive a company. No, your gift is driving. But the right vehicle for your gift may not be driving for a company. It depends on what will give you the most satisfaction. You could be one of the greatest drivers in any area and in any field if driving truly is your gift. You have the ability to become incredibly successful with your gift driving. I guarantee you that it will be more exciting for you to wake up in the morning and drive for yourself or spend a day developing young drivers who work for you. Or maybe the right vehicle for your gift will be providing transportation to your local church of the elderly members of your community. See, your gift doesn't have to become a profession. It could be something that you do on a volunteer basis to serve your community. If serving brings you pleasure, you're already rewarded by the joy it brings into your life. Your gift may be to serve. Your whole life, people have told you that the only place your gift makes sense is at church or in the non-profit sector. Well, that may be the place for you to thrive or the place which you feel called. There is a huge service industry. I can't tell you how many service people from the door to the executive office make my life better in hotels, restaurants, spas, and even venues. You could one day own your own hotel or be the general manager of the best restaurant in the city. All it takes is the gift of service you have to allow you make people's lives more enjoyable. What your gift is not. Passion is a strong emotion associated with something you do. Passion is the emotion, but it is never the gift.